If you're a leader using ChatGPT, especially for your social media content, there's something that you're probably missing. Now, this something isn't just a nice little tool or a tip or a hack or a strategy. It is the key ingredient, not just in using ChatGPT, not just in using social media, but in really being successful in any role you are in. And that one ingredient is you, your voice, your personality. That's right. If you're using ChatGPT, especially for social media posts, you are limiting your voice, your personality, and your message. So you're going to want to stick around until the end because I'm going to teach you how to use ChatGPT to amplify your voice. Major disclaimers. I am not against ChatGPT. In fact, I am very much for it. I think it is an incredible tool to be able to process information and get a lot of things done quickly. It's not that I'm against ChatGPT. I'm just against the way that it is being used as a default. Another disclaimer is this: I am not against social media.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I think social media, while it has its disadvantages, also has huge advantages. For instance, let's take LinkedIn as an example. I love LinkedIn. It is a great place to make connections, to absorb content, to learn, and to share. And recently, LinkedIn has become, well, very repetitive. And the reason it has become repetitive is because so many people are using ChatGPT. I'm gonna go ahead and take off my speaker hat for just a moment. And I don't really know what a speaker hat looks like. And I'm gonna go ahead and put on my English literature hat. And no, I don't know what that hat looks like either. The reason I'm putting on my English literature hat is because when I was an undergraduate and studied English literature, I learned the powerful tool of voice. Voice refers to the distinctive style or the particular way an author expresses themselves through their writing. It encompasses the choice of words, the tone, the pace, and the rhythm that makes an author's writing unique and recognizable. Voice can convey a lot about the author's personality, attitude, and perspective, making it a critical element in establishing a connection with the reader. In other words, voice in writing is that subtle language. It's your unique way of expressing yourself. Think of it as your verbal fingerprint. It's unique and only you can sound like you. And yes, you can train ChatGPT to sound like you. But in order for ChatGPT to sound like you, you have to teach it how to sound like you, meaning that you have to know what you sound like. Now, this is really critical. ChatGPT itself has its own voice. From my professional experience and expertise, I see ChatGPT's voice as a little bit melodramatic. It tends to use key phrases that really hook the reader that are very popular in marketing trends. That's because it has understood and learned that these words capture people's attention. But here's the deal. Brains crave novelty. And if we see something over and over and over again, we tend to dismiss it as repetitive. And ChatGPT's voice, while it is melodramatic and while it is giving you all of these cool marketing terms and words to capture your audience, everyone else is using the same words and terms. Not only that, but ChatGPT tends to overdo it on the emojis. If you don't believe me, check out the description to this video. I made sure that ChatGPT made a lot of emoji references. Okay, so what do we do? Because again, I'm not against ChatGPT. So I'm gonna give you 5 ways on how you can incorporate your voice using ChatGPT. Step 1, treat ChatGPT as an underpaid, a little bit dim intern. Yes, we can hand off certain tasks to our underpaid and somewhat dim intern, but we don't wanna give them all of the tasks, and we certainly don't want them in charge of tasks that create communication that is then seen by clients. In other words, they're not doing the work for you, they're just starting the work. Another way to think of ChatGPT is like a calculator. You definitely can get to the end result faster, but you are still responsible for that end result. And you're also responsible for showing your work. You're responsible not just for the final answer, but how you got to that answer. Step 2 is brainstorm in ChatGPT. When I'm brainstorming, for example, a social media post, I always start with, I want to write a social media post about, and that's my opening cue. Then I just write. I just dump everything that I am thinking of, unfiltered, disorganized, just a complete word vomit on my computer. After I have dumped everything that I'm thinking of that I want to communicate in the post, I hit return and I see what ChatGPT comes up with. Step 3 is simple. Realize that there is a step 3. Most people just stop at step 2 and take ChatGPT for what it is, get copy, hit paste, and send it off to the world. Again, not as effective, especially since it's missing your voice. Step 4 is the one that most people miss. Take ChatGPT's writing and then make it your own. Spend time and edit whatever it is that it created. Sometimes I'll take a look at what ChatGPT produced and think, all of that is absolute and complete garbage. I wouldn't sound like that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't organize it like that. But just looking at something, looking at my ideas through somebody else's, or in this case, something else's lens, allows me to process what's significant and what's not. In other words, ChatGPT can be a great soundboard. And it's not like ChatGPT doesn't get it right. There are times when I see a phrasing or an explanation that lands so much better than the way that I could have said it. In other words, ChatGPT isn't my intern producing social media content. ChatGPT is simply my soundboard, my brainstorming buddy, just something that I can really refine my ideas with. Add your own jokes, your sentence structure, the words that you would use. Add you to your post. Here's a great rule of thumb. Whatever ChatGPT gives you, print it off and read it out loud. If you wouldn't be caught dead saying those words, not just because they're not your style, but also because you don't know what some of those words mean, which sometimes ChatGPT tends to sneak in, then don't use those words. Because after all, when you are representing yourself in social media, you're representing yourself, not ChatGPT. Step 5 is edit the emojis. Yep, I said it. Stop using so many emojis in your social media posts, even if ChatGPT recommends it. I 100% agree that emojis communicate. They actually have their own syntax and style that's very, very fascinating. And remember, brains crave novelty. So if I've seen one social media post with 3 stars and 2 green flags and an explosion, I've seen them all. And remember, ChatGPT likes to produce in patterns. So edit out any emoji that doesn't serve you and your message. Finally, above all, I cannot say this enough. Regardless of if you're promoting yourself on social media, or you're giving a keynote speech, or you're in a team meeting, the most important quality, the most important asset that you have is not a tool, it is not a technology, it's you. People want to buy, they want to involve themselves, they want to trust you. So if you don't show them who you are, they can't trust who you are. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you are speaking up your story, not someone or something else's. Hey, if you like that, make sure that you like that and subscribe. And until next time, make sure you're coming off mute and speaking up your story. We'll see you soon.